Namaste. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree allowing foreigners to stay in Russia for a temporary basis, and China imposed tit for tat kind of sanctions. Brics expansion is on a spree, and we'll talk about US presidential elections where a lot of things are happening. And Germany has recently accused Poland and Ukraine for Nordstream explosion. And what can be the impact on India? We'll discuss in this geopolitical commentary. Let's go. First, we discuss about what exactly the decree the Russian President Mr. Vladimirovich Putin has signed. In this decree, Mr. Putin has allowed people living in other countries or foreign countries to come to Russia on a temporary basis. And the reason is given for those people to come and temporarily stay in Russia is like the people of those countries, they're not satisfied with the moral values of the country. Let's say if you are living in Western countries and you are not satisfied with the moral functioning of the society, or indirectly saying that you are not happy with the LGBT thing and woke ideology and the way your society is functioning. You are welcome to come to Russia, experience the culture or the Orthodox Christian society, and maybe make it a permanent home. That's kind of logic I understood. And this is not new. Russia has invited in the past also a lot of foreigners on ideological basis. So I think it's just simple, and it's not new either. In the past also, Western countries too invited people from other countries who support the way societies functions, and a lot of people migrated. So there's nothing new in this. Second, we'll talk about Germany has recently accused Poland and Ukraine for Nord Stream explosion. Now, I won't use the word accuse. It's more like some article which I read where they said that Ukrainian or ex-Ukrainian army commander General Zaluzny was behind, or he was the mastermind of orchestrating the explosion of Nord Stream, which was supposed to deliver gas from Russia directly to Germany, bypassing Ukraine pipeline. So currently there are pipelines which supply gas from Russia to Germany or to Europe, and the Nord Stream pipeline was directly supplying gas to Germany. So Germany has accused both Ukraine and Poland, and one of the politicians also demanded compensation from Poland to cause economic sabotage. This incident looks very entirely very funny because from since the time this explosion happened, a lot of new narratives keep coming. Who is behind it? Sometimes they accuse Russia, sometimes they accused some unknown person, sometimes they accuse somebody else. It just kind of media are happening. Nothing concrete has been done. So I think it's just again Germany is trying to whitewash the not whitewash. I should say the word. They're trying to avoid helping Ukraine. Maybe they reach the limit of how much they can help Ukraine. So this may be one of the ways to avoid helping Ukraine. Let's say, oh, they destroy our pipeline. Ukrainians destroy our pipeline with the help of Poland. We won't help them. Something like that. So this can be part of it, or maybe Germany did find evidence of Ukrainian uh, armed forces or Ukrainian soldiers destroying Nord Stream explosion. We don't know because since somehow no charges have been filed so far. It's just media part. Last week, I made a video about Serbia's expansion into Brics, or Serbia has been invited for a Brics summit. And this week, Russian President Vladimir Putin was in Azerbaijan to meet the president of Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan has formally applied to join Brics. Iran, the neighboring country of Azerbaijan, is already a member of Brics, and Malaysian Prime Minister have recently met Russian President, as well as he is currently in India. He's currently in India, and he has met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he also is formally thinking of applying, or I think they already made up their mind of applying to Brics. So Brics is expanding, and this is becoming more like a forum where Russia and China is both are thinking about expanding, and this is becoming a forum again, forum of non-Western countries actually, which is most of the Asian countries, Europeans, and not Europeans, sorry, African countries. So this is becoming a big forum. However, who is going to be admitted will be decided on a consensus basis. So every country which is currently member of BRICS has to agree for the new members. This is how things decided in the BRICS, and it's a lot of a lot of news coming out that BRICS is becoming bigger and bigger, and the Western world's influence is declining. So this is a kind of bad news for the Western world, which has dominated a lot of things on lot of things. Now these are alternative blocks where countries can think of joining if they feel that their interests are not served by aligning with Western countries. They can have a alternative block for the moment. Um, and how the BRICS will shape is still need to be seen in the future. The fourth thing we'll study about or talk about is China has recently imposed export control um, on natural resource or a mineral called antimony. Now, if you are not into science, then we don't have to know much. But it's used in mostly in military productions, and China does not have a lot of mines, but China does have refining capacity. So they refine approximately 80% of world's antimony, and then they re-export it to other countries. So US government also buying things from China, and it's like the US government imposed semiconductor-led sanctions or restrictions. So Chinese government found some way to revert back these measures. It's kind of tit for tat move, and it's also highlight one of the videos I made that a lot of countries in the Western Hemisphere are making a beeline to China. They are going to China for securing so for securing investment, for securing other deals, technological deals, and so many other things to improve their country's economic growth. So what does it mean for India? I'll come in a minute. Last but not the least is the US presidential election. Now it's getting more and more interesting. Like um, the current, I think, current vice president of US and the future Democratic presidential candidate, uh, Madam Kamala Harris. Oh, sorry, Kamala Harris has announced higher tax on corporates. She announced, I think, some benefits, some handouts, money to people, and a lot of plans she introduced. And her opponent, the Republican candidate, Mr. Donald Trump, has called her communist. That like she's bringing communism to USA, and this is getting kind of, I think, kind of Cold War thinking. You accuse anybody you don't agree with, communist or capitalist. It's like two camps. So this is getting kind of interesting, and this has brought the idea of universal basic income and price control on the items, in especially in countries which follow a free market economy. So we'll see how it's going to happen. But this has become interesting because it's introduced as a measure to control high price, as a measure to reduce the poverty, as a measure to do a lot of things in a lot of economic problems. So what does these things mean for India in a short, in a long term? Uh, if I go for a first headline, Mr. Vladimir Putin signed decree for allowing foreigners. I don't think it has mean anything for India. It's mostly aimed for Western countries where some people who are orthodox, who follow religion very rigorously, they can think of migrating to Russia. So the second is interesting because this is industrial sabotage. A Nordstream explosion is considered industrial sabotage, and so far nobody knows who did it and how does it happen. How did it happen? Sorry, not does. How did it happen? And you see, there are a lot of underwater pipelines. There are a lot of underwater cables. A lot of internet traffic goes through those internet cables underwater. So if this act of sabotage, whoever did it, is not caught, it's not come to limelight, then everything is at risk um, because if the rogue rogue entity behind is not caught, then they can do something more in the future. That's a speculation. So for India, it's important because we also have underwater cables. So we also need to think of the security wise, that how to protect them best, that we don't have a disruption in internet traffic if some kind of incident happen, the cables are cut or pipelines are damaged. A third is BRICS expansion. Yes, it's very it's a positive news in some way that India is part of this group which is ready to go for multipolar world. But also India will be cautious that it cannot become an anti-West bloc. See, India is very big to be aligned with one side or other side. Like we align with West or we align with non-West. We are very big, so we align with everybody based on our interest. And the concern for India will be that BRICS doesn't become like an anti-West bloc, or it's too much pro-China or pro-Russia bloc. So the concern for India will be like it has a balanced view, have some sort of strategy in the future to have a better voice of global South, not just becoming an anti-West bloc, okay, which possibly the intentions of China or Russia will be, not India's intention. So something India needs to watch out for, which countries to admit, um, and um it has certain purpose to fulfill the economic growth and aspirations of all those smaller countries of global South. And China's export control antimony. The fourth, I think it's important for India, and this is highlighted in Economic Survey of India also. The recent these years, that we need China. We have a lot of China hawks in India, which talks about negative about China. Fine, we have border problem, but in a larger perspective, we have to accept that China has certain monopolies, certain specialities, or certain manufacturing capacities which can't be replicated by anybody else. So to grow, we also need those supplies in the form of, let's say, tunnel boring machines, in the form of metro coaches. A lot of engineering equipments are coming from China to India. So Western countries which ask India to be kind of joining anti-China bloc are themselves dependent so much on China that they cannot decouple. So this rhetoric done by Western leaders against China means nothing. In reality, they are too dependent on China and they will not decouple, not in the future, maybe a few years out down the line, but at the moment it doesn't feel like that. So for India, it's important that we continue engaging with China, continue to do the trade, and align with them based on interest, and also have a deterrence on border um, maintain strategic I think that's what the government's plan is, that they want to maintain a strategic status quo at the border and continue to trade with China as long as it's benefit India, because Western countries are doing the same. They keep saying anti-China, anti-China, but they're doing the same. So we should do the same. And US presidential elections, I think it has brought this idea of universal basic income or price control by the state in free market economies. Now, how this happen, how they will do it, if they are going to do it, may have impact on India also, because the demand may come in Indian quarters also, that we should also do something like that to control the prices, or think about universal basic income, that certain money should be given to everybody. So it's like taxing more to rich and giving money to poor, but will it be feasible or not? We'll see. That's all I have to say about this geopolitical commentary of the events happened in the past few days. If you like this video, please share it with others. And if you want to know, keep sorry, if you want to keep watching such videos in English, Hindi, in German, or Spanish or Russians, please subscribe to my channel. Till the next video, namaste.